40. Check us out at ProView.
Hey, nice to have you with us for a Wednesday edition of the Bruce Hooley Show. Glad to have you along. Well, we got lots of local news. Well, one big local story anyway. Trump back at the White House having lunch with Joe Biden, and a new Secretary of Defense who conservatives love and liberals hate, which means he'll probably be a great choice. So we have all that, and we're just about ready to get started. So thanks for joining us, and as soon as the band starts, we'll get going. There they go. Well, it's happening. Donald Trump is back at the White House, meeting with Joe Biden. I don't know if they're going to have lunch or not. I hope the White House chef is really talented, because Joe would have to be eating crow, and I hope he could make it taste good for the old guy. That's all right. He washed it down with Jell-O or tapioca. We'll get to that. We'll get to Pete Hegseth, moving from Fox and Friends on the weekends to Secretary of Defense, which the liberals hate, which of course means it's probably a great choice. We have news on Intel, which I told you 2 weeks ago. From all the things that I infer from the headlines I'm reading, looks to me like the project is in deep, deep trouble. And they were trying to keep that a secret from you ahead of the election, because both Democrats and Republicans had equal shares of the blame if in fact that project is dead as a doornail. But we start with what I thought would happen sooner. A week ago today, I sat here celebrating the election of Donald Trump to the White House, the re-election of Donald Trump to the White House. However you want to look at it, he's the 45th president, he's the 47th president, and he's in Washington, D.C. today, as I said, to meet with Joe Biden. I thought there would be some sort of liberal wig out in our schools, because many, not all, but many of our schools have been captured by nonsense, illogic, and people who, though they have advanced degrees, are unable to discern the fact that Democrats exaggerate the danger of Donald Trump. And I was gratified when, a week went by and I didn't hear any horror stories from local schools. And then last night, my phone pinged around, 9 o'clock, and a friend, and no, I certainly will not identify the friend, but they know who they are, sent me a staff memo circulated to the entire staff of Olentangy Orange High School under the heading State of the Pioneer. The Pioneer is the mascot at Olentangy Orange. Olentangy Orange High School staff newsletter, November 11th through November the 15th. And the next line says, words from Monica Asher. Monica is the high school principal at Orange, so sit right up and take attention when Monica Asher is sending you a staff memo. And this is what Monica's memo to the staff says. I have struggled this week to find the right words. I can't write a message that pretends like the election didn't happen, especially when so many of you are struggling with how to move forward. I know you are struggling with how to move forward with your students who are afraid, but also how to move forward with colleagues that don't share your views. This week, I saw pain, uncertainty, and division. I have to be honest. I am not entirely sure how to tell you how to move forward. What I can tell you is that I am here with you, and my values have not changed. Sounds like Kamala. Continuing the memo. I recognize that leadership is tested during tough times. Anyone can lead when it is easy. And I grew up not wanting to be just anyone. I grew up wanting to be someone who made a difference. I may read you the other 3 paragraphs of the statement, but I really don't need to, because there's enough in there for me to assess the fact that Monica Asher, it certainly appears to me, is unfit to lead the staff at Olentangy Orange High School. Why do I say that? Number one, because I checked, Maybe Monica didn't, but Monica lives in a bubble because in Delaware County, which is one of the fastest growing counties in the state, and in the Olentangy School District, which is also, if not the fastest, one of the fastest growing districts in the state, Delaware County voted for Donald Trump 53% to 46%. I know there's a lot of wokeness in the schools in Delaware County. I've talked about it a lot with the board that tunes out residents, and many residents have decided to send their kids to charter schools and private schools to get them away from people like Monica Asher and the mindset she demonstrates. I've had pictures sent to me of biologically male teachers at Olentangy Orange High School who wear skirts with rainbow socks pulled up to their knees, and that's just fine. But let's just go through this first sentence. I can't write a message that pretends like the election didn't happen, especially when so many of you are struggling with how to move forward. Well, how many? Now, I know education is captured. I get it. The OEA, the National Federation of Teachers. I have no doubt that among the faculty members and staff members at Olentangy Orange High School, the breakdown between Trump voters and Kamala Harris voters is probably not 53 to 46 like it was among the general electorate. But is it reasonable to assume that there's a fairly significant portion, so we say like even 25% of the staff at Olentangy Orange that might not share Monica Asher's political beliefs and might be offended by this, might feel, what was one of the factors I said led to Kamala Harris's defeat? Condescension. They might feel condescended to by this memo. They might feel like Monica Asher is somebody who they don't want to lead them because Monica Asher is looking down on them and making clear her disdain for them with this memo. So I sent an email to the communications specialists. I know I shouldn't call them specialists because they're not very good at communicating, at least not with me. Every time I've reached out to them, I've never gotten a response. Krista Davis and Christian Ross, they are listed on the Olentangy School's website as their communications specialists. And I think, I didn't get an email back. They've had more than an hour to look at my email. I think maybe at the very least, they should excise from their website a sentence that I find interesting and odd, given the fact that I have not heard a word back from them in over an hour about this email sent from Monica Asher, the principal at Olentangy Orange High School. And the sentence says, we encourage parents and the public. I'm not a parent of an Olentangy Orange student or an Olentangy student, but I am part of the public. We encourage parents and the public to engage with us and welcome your comments, students, staff, that's you, Monica, and community. I don't think you do. I don't think you do encourage parents, or in my case, the public, to engage with you, Krista, to engage with you, Kristen, because I never hear back from you, and Now, Monica says, I know you are struggling with how to move forward with your students who are afraid. Does she give any instance, any evidence that the students are afraid? She does not. That is totally her perception that students are afraid. If she has evidence that students are afraid, that would be a good place to put it. She doesn't put it in there. And I'm not saying that there aren't students who are afraid, but if there are students who are afraid, it is because people like Monica Asher and maybe the dude who wears a skirt and the rainbow socks have planted it in their mind that Donald Trump's election or re-election to the White House somehow threatens their individual safety, which of course is a lie, which of course is absolutely categorically untrue. Now she goes on, she says, I saw pain, uncertainty, and division. I have to be honest, I am not entirely sure how to tell you how to move forward. It sounds like Monica is struggling to do her job, which is to lead the district. And if you have a principal who confesses, and she did right there, that she doesn't know how to lead her district, then I think it's reasonable to assume that maybe the district ought to alleviate her of that responsibility while she maybe goes to a seminar or a struggle session or something else to figure out how she's going to move forward. Wouldn't that be the kind, compassionate thing to do? I think so. Wouldn't that be the prudent thing to do? If you have a rudderless leader in a huge school like Orange High School who says right there, I don't know how to move forward. She says, my values have not changed. And then she says, I recognize leadership is tested during tough times. Anyone can lead what is easy. And I grew up not wanting to be just anyone. I grew up wanting to be someone who made a difference. Well, I don't know how you can make a difference when you are encouraging people who voted for Kamala Harris to look down upon colleagues. She says that right there. I know you're struggling with how to move forward with your students who are afraid, but also how to move forward with colleagues that don't share your views. So if you're a Trump supporter and you're on the staff at Olentangy Orange, you have your high school principal telling other staff members who voted for Kamala Harris that they should look down on you, and she's not encouraging them to put differences aside. She's not encouraging them to, I don't know, focus on the mission of education, which has exactly zero to do with the outcome of a presidential election. She is choosing to stew and fret over something that has nothing to do with what she's paid to do.
58, clouds and showers tonight, a steady rain late, low 44. Rain and cooler for tomorrow. High tomorrow 51. A bit of rain tomorrow evening, otherwise cloudy, low 47. And then Friday, clouds and shower and spots, high 54. Periods of clouds and sun on Saturday, high 56. Mostly cloudy for Sunday, high Sunday 59. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Our nation's problems have been building for the past 50 years, and they're not going away overnight, which is why we must prepare now for a financial collapse that will affect the entire economy. The good news is there's an easy way to do that. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe everyone should consider a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group to diversify their IRA or 401k. Gold is a proven bedrock in almost every kind of economy. To learn more, get a free info kit from my trusted friends at Birch Gold by texting the word PREPARE to 989898. Don't wait until decades of government irresponsibility comes crashing down on your retirement. Get your free info kit on gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group now. Text PREPARE to the number 989898. That's PREPARE to 989898.
Planning for retirement is no small task. If you don't know where to start, join Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group every Saturday at 10 and 2 for Retire Ready Ohio. Rodney shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 10 and 2 to Retire Ready Ohio with Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group.
We wanted to go inside the Oval Office. Let's watch.
In many cases, not a very.
We're all surprised that Pete Hegseth was announced last night as the Secretary of Defense, and looking at the way that people in D.C.
We have some breaking news right now.
Interesting pick.
We wanted to go inside the Oval Office. Let's watch.
Many cases.
Well, I think we were all surprised that.
I very much appreciate that, Jim. You're welcome.
Let's watch.
The Answer.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6745. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-6745. That's 800-575-6745. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Gaining weight was easy. Losing it's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk of type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes it very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Now, I've heard from some of you that you get a little bored during the live read segment of the Bruce Hooley Show, where I tell you about all the exciting things that are going on at 989theanswer.com. But listen up, this is a new one, August 16th to the 23rd, 2025. The Patriots Alaska Cruise. Dennis Prager, Mike Gallagher, and Larry Elder. What a crew. Now, if you would like to sign up on the Holland America 5-star hospitality tour, oh, wait, I left out. They're going to be joined, Gallagher, Elder, and Prager, by Joe Piscopo. You're going to go to Glacier Bay, Juneau, Ketchikan, and the scenic Stevens Passage. You will, of course, on what at that point in time will be a pretty good look at the early Trump administration. So find out all you need at travelwithsalem.com. That's travelwithsalem.com.
and go work on a 2026 campaign and do penance to make up for the arrogance and stupidity. Well, we're going to say, we told you so. We told you this identity was disaster. We told you to get out in front of public safety issues. You didn't. We told you to have an open process and demonstrate the magnificent, staggering, and deep talent that exists in the modern Democratic Party. You didn't. We told you to differentiate yourself from Biden. You didn't. I hate to be so at all, but all of these things are part of the record.
Yes, they are part of the record, and a glorious part of the record with that. Now, are they stopping across the board? No, of course not. Last night, it was announced that Pete Hegseth, the Fox and Friends Saturday morning host, will become Donald Trump's Secretary of Defense. And instantly, there's a wig out on the left from all kinds of people, former intelligence officers, politicians, Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, a guy named Jeremy Bash. Jeremy Bash, a former intelligence officer, epitomized the wig out on the left. Listen to him on MSNBC upon the announcement that Pete Hegseth would become the new Secretary of Defense, replacing Lloyd Austin.
As difficult as it is to contemplate this at this moment, I think we have to rely on Republicans, Republican elected officials, Supreme Court justices, and people inside government and outside government who are willing to continue to have checks and balances, to continue to hold the executive branch accountable.
Checks
if
and
there's
balances.
an unlawful order given to the United States military, I expect, and I think it will be the case, that uniformed military will not carry out unlawful orders. If these people try to politicize the work of the Central Intelligence Agency, I know the people who work at the Central Intelligence Agency, they will not allow their work to be politicized. They will speak the truth, and the truth will set them free.
Got to stop you right there, Jeremy. First of all, you say Jeremy Bash. By any chance, is he related to Dana Bash at CNN? I used to be married to Dana Bash at CNN. It's a comfort, I guess, that Jeremy Bash now is obsessed with checks and balances and holding the executive branch accountable. He didn't seem to be quite that invested in doing so when he was one of the 51 intelligence officers who signed the letter saying that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation. He seemed to fall right in line with what Anthony Blinken asked all those intelligence officers to do to provide Joe Biden a firewall before his final debate with Donald Trump in 2020. So that's where we are with some Democrats. Are they going to change? No, they're not going to change. They're not going to change until they continue to get their heads beat in. Pete Hegseth is a great choice because Pete Hegseth is not just a Fox and Friends weekend morning host. Do you know why Pete Hegseth is a Fox and Friends weekend morning host? Because he has an wrote the book on how to fix our military. His book is called The War on Warriors. The War on Warriors. And in it, he calls out the utter nonsense of people like General Mark Milley, who says, I want to know about white rage. Why do we have a military recruitment problem? Because we have people leading the military who are the antithesis of the kind of patriot that Pete Hegseth is.
With SRN News, I'm Chair of the House in Washington. President Biden and President-elect Donald Trump have met at the White House with a pledge from both men to make the transition as smooth as possible. Today's visit was a traditional part of the peaceful handoff of power. Prior to the meeting with the president, Mr. Trump met on Capitol Hill with Republican congressional leaders. Republican senators have been gathering behind closed doors to
going after it really hard.
How would they correct it?
Well, first of all, you got to fire. You got to fire the chairman and joint chiefs, and you got to fire this. I mean, obviously, you got to bring in a new Secretary of Defense, but any general that was involved, general, admiral, whatever that was involved in any of the DEI work, it's got to go. Either you're in for
get a free info kit from my trusted friend at Birch Gold by texting the word prepare to 989898. Don't wait until decades of government irresponsibility comes crashing down on your retirement. Get your free info kit on gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group now. Text prepare to the number 989898. That's prepare to 989898. Our nation's problems have been brewing for the past 50 years, and they're not going away overnight, which is why we must prepare now for a financial collapse that will affect the entire economy. The good news is there's an easy way to do that. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe everyone should consider a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group to diversify their IRA or 401k. Gold is a proven bedrock in almost every kind of economy. To learn more, get a free info kit from my trusted friends at Birch Gold by texting the word prepare to 989898. Don't wait until decades of government irresponsibility comes crashing down on your retirement. Get your free info kit on gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group now. Text prepare to the number 989898. That's prepare to 989898.
Feel like you're trying to push a boulder uphill wearing skates? If you run or manage a local business today, you're challenged like never before. We get it, and we want to help. We're Salem Surround. We're a full-service marketing agency that'll help you increase your customer base by designing incredibly effective plans to reach your consumers day, night, and everywhere they might be.
If you're a local business and want to see what Salem Surround can do for you, Google Salem Surround Columbus. Remember to Google Salem Surround Columbus today.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer, anywhere you go. With The Answer's mobile app at 98.9theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn, or iHeart.
Good news for you if you'd like to have somebody else pay your mortgage or pay your rent. Yes, the return of the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Sweepstakes. Where? At 9890answer.com. Of course, if you'd like to have, as I said, your mortgage or rent payments made for you in 2025, then you have to enter, and you can enter every single day through December the 22nd. Yes, we allow you to stuff the ballot box. And here's a little secret. You are even allowed to enter more than once per day if you complete optional entries, which offer you bonus chances to win. This is our 7th year of doing the Christmas Mortgage Miracle. And as I said, you can enter at 9890answer.com. Speaking of Christmas, also at 9890answer.com, we are giving away 10 pairs of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra at Nationwide Arena on December the 26th. It is the Lost Christmas Eve tour. So while you're there, why don't you double up and enter to win the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Sweepstakes and also Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets at 9890answer.com. Now, it has long been known that the U.S. military has suffered from a recruitment crisis. The military has survived as an all-volunteer force because the lion's share of its recruits have come from the Bible Belt and are white teenage men. Those men have looked for other options after high school. If college is not something, the trades have become more popular, and they just did not want to be a part of a military that prioritized progressive values over what most people join the military for, which is, I've said, the most effective 6-word military recruiting mantra that you could adopt is kill bad guys, blow stuff up. I might make it a little bit more earthy than that. But kill bad guys, blow stuff up. That would appeal to the kinds of people you need to appeal to enter the military. It would not appeal to people who want to go in and enlighten the military. For instance, I know someone who joined the Marines, a woman who joined the Marines. And in her barracks were 3 transgender women, which is to say, biological men, showering with her, sharing space with her, blessed by the U.S. military. That does not appeal to most young people who want to enter the military. And it does not appeal to Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump's new choice as Secretary of Defense. Here is an interview Pete Hegseth did, I think last year, not too long ago, because he was on his book tour, probably this year. His book is The War on Warriors. Let me play what Pete had to say in this interview on his book tour, and then I'll read a little bit more of his perspective on how to fix the military.
There's a chance to course correct it, but it would take the new Trump administration going after it really hard.
How would they correct it?
Well, first of all, you got to fire. You got to fire the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and you got to fire this. I mean, obviously, you're going to bring in a new Secretary of Defense, but any general that was involved, general, admiral, whatever that was involved in any of the DEI woke, it's got to go. Either you're in for war fighting, and that's it. That's the only litmus test we care about. You got to get DEI and CRT out of military academies, so you're not training young officers to be baptized in this type of thinking. And then, whatever the standards, whatever the combat standards were, say, in, I don't know, 1995, let's just make those standards. And as far as recruiting, to hire the guy that, did Top Gun Maverick and create some real ads that motivate people to want to serve. And there's lots of other ways in which you could identify who gets promoted and what, but there's an ethos change. I mean, there's a reason people don't want to serve, because they don't trust that their senior leaders are going to have their best interest in mind in combat. I know there were mistakes made on our tours all over the place, but I, at least for the most part, had a sense that my senior leaders were committed to the completion of the mission for the right reasons. And maybe there were strategic differences and all that other stuff, and it wasn't always perfect, but that trust is broken, and you have to reestablish that trust by putting in no-nonsense warfighters in those positions who aren't going to cater to the socially correct garbage.
So let me give you Pete Hegseth's credentials. He's a graduate of Princeton. He has a graduate degree from Harvard. He did tours in Guantanamo Bay, Iraq, and Afghanistan. He has 2 Bronze Stars and a combat infantryman's badge. And he has also led 2 veterans advocacy organizations. He is not just a Fox and Friends weekend host, as he has been described by those on the left who oppose his appointment to this consequential role. Now, here is what Pete Hegseth wrote in his book, The War on Warriors, Behind the Betrayal of Men Who Keep Us Free. It was his 5th book, by the way, his 5th. Okay, this guy, he's got a bunch of kids. I heard him on the Mike Rowe podcast during this past summer. This guy's a dynamo. I don't know how he finds the time to do everything that he does, but here's a quote from his book. I joined the Army in 2001 because I wanted to serve my country. Extremists attacked us on 9/11 and we went to war. I became an infantry officer in 2003. I guarded terrorists at Guantanamo Bay in 2004. I led men in combat in 2005, pulled bodies out of burning vehicles in Afghanistan in 2012. I held a riot shield outside the White House in 2020. And then in 2021, I was deemed an extremist by that very same Army. Yes, you read that right. 20 years in the military. I loved, I fought for, I revered. It spit me out. While writing this book, I separated from an Army that didn't want me anymore. The feeling was mutual. I didn't want this Army anymore. So why was he labeled an extremist? Guard Joe Biden's inauguration on the steps of the U.S. Capitol. And then he said, prior to that happening, a commander called and said that I would no longer be needed. He said he later spoke to someone who was privy to the decision-making, and this person said the chain of command went through Pete Hegseth's social media and saw that I had a Jerusalem cross tattoo and deemed it to be indicative of a white extremist, that he was a threat and an extremist. And so his orders were revoked. Pete Hegseth said, I signed up 20 years ago to fight extremists, put my life on the line, and now I was deemed one because of what I believe, because of my Christian faith, or because I work for Fox News, or because I support Donald Trump. Any one of those is a wrong answer. I've worn this uniform for the better part of 20 years for this country, and you're calling me an extremist. If they'll do that to me, they'll do it to anybody. And they did. Now, he said in his original comment that I played for you there that you got to fire the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. The Joint Chiefs of Staff, Pete Hegseth is a civilian leader now as Secretary of Defense under Donald Trump. He will be confirmed by the Senate. Make no bones about that. It'll be, I'm sure, prone to grandstanding from idiots like Elizabeth Warren and others who will participate in the Senate hearings. And they'll go and they'll find all kinds of things that he's tweeted before. But he will get confirmation from what will be a Senate with 53 Republicans. But what about the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff? Who is that? Well, right now it is General C.Q. Brown from the Air Force. General C.Q. Brown is black, and General C.Q. Brown was appointed about 2 years ago. Now, the custom on this position is that you serve one administration the last half and the next administration the first half, unless that administration is reelected, which, of course, blissfully in the case of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, it was not. So what is C.Q. Brown's future as head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff? There's no rule against firing him. It's just typically not done. Well, it's going to be done in the case of C.Q. Brown. One Department of Defense official described him as, quote, a DEI woke champion. I would imagine he will be gone quickly. Another person familiar with the Trump transition team tells Politico, C.Q. Brown, he's going to be an obstacle in all sorts of ways. It's just not worth it. How do you know he's going to be gone? Because when C.Q. Brown was confirmed, there were 11 Republican senators who voted no on his appointment. One of them was Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is quite likely to be Donald Trump's choice for Secretary of State. Another Republican senator who abstained from the vote is Tom Cotton. Tom Cotton might have the job that Pete Hegseth now has if Tom Cotton didn't back out of wanting to serve in Trump cabinet to remain a senator from Arkansas. Now, Trump did nominate Brown to be the first black Air Force chief of staff in early 2020. And right after he named him that, early 2020, pandemic, pre-George Floyd riots, Brown started to speak up about racial injustice in the military. And I have no doubt that it happens because people are evil and idiots sometimes take on racial nonsense, particularly in a testosterone-charged environment like the military. But this guy has gotten over his skis on the DEI stuff, which you can't blame him. I mean, that's a political position as much as it is a military position. And he read the room with Joe Biden in the White House and thought, wow, this will really help my career. Well, then Donald Trump got reelected, and now it will end his career.
It's a breezy afternoon, high today 58, clouds and showers tonight, a steady rain late, low 44.
The recruit you were talking about earlier, was it Bo Bassett?
High tomorrow 51. A bit of rain tomorrow evening, otherwise cloudy, low 47. And then Friday, clouds and shower spots, high 54. Periods of clouds and sun on Saturday, high 56. Mostly cloudy for Sunday, high Sunday 59. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
QC Kinetics after this
Are
break.
you under the impression that a metal roof costs 2 or 3 times more than a shingle roof? No, it doesn't. Hi, folks. I'm Dan Tolan, owner of The Metal Roof Company. As your foremost metal roofing authority in Central Ohio, I can promise you it's the most inexpensive roof you'll ever buy because it's the last roof you'll ever buy. With lifetime warranties and a variety of financing options, give us a call at 721-ROOF, 721-ROOF, or reach out to us on the web at themetalroofcompany.com.
I'd give the Gentle Dentist 6 out of 5 stars if I could. The care is superb. They run on time and you never have to wait. And with a little one, that is a big plus. Everyone knows your name and they bend over backwards to accommodate your needs. They are like family.
Going to the Gentle Dentist is like going to the spa. Massage chair, TV, and a blanket. I get in and out with no fuss and no pain.
Ask about our free Whitening for Life program, 614-431-3311.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-298-4932. 800-298-4932. Again, that's 800-298-4932.
Dinesh D'Souza here. Have you heard about my new movie? It's called Vindicating Trump, and it's based on my book of the same name. This book is a deep dive into the real reasons why the left and the Democrats hate Donald Trump so much. They call him a tyrannical dictator. But in reality, it's the American government's authoritarian regime that's afraid that Trump will dethrone them once again. Trump, as a charismatic leader, knows how to mobilize the people. He gets things done, and they don't like it. That's why they're doing everything they can to stop him, using lawsuits, indictments, even assassination attempts on his life. Vindicating Trump reveals Donald Trump as the one man that can stand up to the tyranny of the left. And that's precisely why we need his leadership now more than ever. Don't miss my no-holds-barred defense of Trump in Vindicating Trump. You can watch it now or buy the DVD. Go to salemnow.com. That's salemnow.com.
The Christmas Mortgage Miracle is back. For 7 years, 98.9 FM The Answer and the Christmas Mortgage Miracle has made it possible to win next year's mortgage or rent. This year, the grand prize is $18,000. Increase your opportunity to win by entering up to once per day and complete optional bonus tasks for even more chances to win. Receive this blessing for 2025 with the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Sweepstakes. Enter to win today at 989theanswer.com. That's 989theanswer.com.
QC Kinetics, they can be your best friend. Wouldn't you consider somebody your best friend if they helped you get out of chronic pain, like the arthritis pain that you're experiencing? Because, I don't know, maybe you've been told you're bone on bone, or maybe just every time you get up and move, you haven't even gone to the doctor, but you don't need to go to the doctor to know you're in pain. Your back, your elbow, your hip, your knee. Something aches badly. You think it's going to get better on its own? Probably not. You don't want to have surgery. You don't want to be tethered to conventional medicine. I get it. I don't get why you wouldn't take advantage of the free, no obligation consultation at QC Kinetics. You say, well, I live too far from the clinic. Well, how? There's one in Gahanna, there's one in Dublin, one on each side of town. Free, no obligation consultation. They withdraw your blood, they concentrate the platelets, they re-inject it, and voila, relief. Explore healing by taking advantage of the free consultation. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. Wow. Rarely has there been so much response on social media to a topic on the Bruce Hooley Show than there is to the memo sent by Olentangy Orange High School Principal Monica Asher to her staff in which the election of Donald Trump. We will share with you everything we found out about Monica Asher, about her social media, and about your responses on the other side of the top of the hour. And I promised you that I would give you an update on Intel today, which Intel supposed to be like the greatest thing that ever happened to the Ohio jobs market, right? And they completely remade Orange Township. You lived out there, quiet, rural, beautiful. Then the trucks started. Well, first they had the big press conference. Sherrod Brown came in. He took a big victory lap. Mike DeWine to Jobs Ohio. Everybody wanted to get in on it because this was, this is one of the few truly bipartisan deals in Washington, D.C. It was a deal that everybody wanted to take credit for. A lot of people showed up, taking a bow. A lot of people who had absolutely nothing to do with it, because I know the person who was the brainstorm behind recruiting Intel here. And I would call him and I go, did this guy have something to do with it? This guy, no. One Columbus actually did the heavy lifting on getting Intel here. Not Jobs Ohio, not DeWine, not Husted, certainly not Joe Biden. It was one Columbus did that. Okay, so now pretty quiet out there. Intel struggling, knocked off the S&P 500, 15,000 layoffs, earnings in the dumper. And I said 2 weeks ago that I'm getting calls from people who say, hey, there's a very good chance this thing doesn't get built. Doesn't get built. Well, now look, Intel's too big to fail. It just is. Like, it's too big to fail. Besides, what are you going to do with those massive holes out there that they've filled with concrete? Like, they dug down like they were digging to the world's largest swimming pool and filled it to the rim, not with brim, but with concrete. So, unless they want to have the world's largest outdoor basketball court in Orange Township, they're going to have to build something on those concrete pads. So my prediction is that eventually this will somehow be rescued with even more government money. It's the only way, because right now Intel has tried to sell this to another chip maker, and the other chip makers, while Intel got a boondoggle of government money, right now they're waiting on a check for $8.5 billion. And every couple of weeks, we get a story where Intel's whining, DeWine's been whining, others have been whining about the fact that the government has not released that money yet. Oh, did Joe Biden suddenly become a fiscal conservative? No, of course not. They don't want to send the money because the thing is struggling and Intel is struggling. Now, the head of Intel, Pat Gelsinger, says that Intel itself in the last 2 years has invested over $30 billion in U.S. manufacturing and has seen zero from the CHIPS Act grants. Mike Johnson, the House Speaker, on November the 1st said, yeah, we're probably going to cancel that CHIPS Act. Ooh, ouch. Now, Johnson later went back and amended that by saying, well, we'll probably just change some of the terms. Bernie Moreno, newly elected senator from the state of Ohio, has said the same thing. The Ohio Chamber, of course, is way behind this. They also try to take credit for it. Steve Stivers wants the money released. And this passed in the Senate, by the way, 64-33 and 243-187 in the House. So it had support on both sides of the aisle. And I've said before, both sides of the aisle would and should get blamed for this if it goes under. Jobs Ohio will look terrible. It will essentially end the political future of Lieutenant Governor John Husted. It will besmirch the political legacy of Mike DeWine. And Biden's legacy is, the CHIPS Act is way down the list of things that Joe Biden will be knocked for, because Democrats will eviscerate him for being the guy who stayed in the race too long and allowed Donald Trump to beat Kamala Harris, which doesn't matter how long Biden stayed in. Kamala Harris, now that we see that America's not collectively ignorant, America was never going to go for a candidate who has nothing between the ears and who lied about every position that she was more than happy to brag about when she was running for president the first time in 2019. And the only two things that her two presidential runs have in common is that she didn't get a single vote in either primary leading up to getting the Democratic nomination in 2024. She didn't get a single vote in 2020. She didn't get a single vote in 2024. Nevertheless, they elevated her to the ballot. And then last Tuesday, she got utterly embarrassed. So that is what Biden's legacy will be. But DeWine, Husted, Jobs Ohio, doesn't sound promising, because on his podcast interview with Joe Rogan, Trump said that chip deal is so bad. That chip deal is so bad. We put up billions of dollars for rich companies to come in and borrow the money and build chip companies here, and they're not going to give us good companies anyway. Now, the total price tag of the project in Licking County, $28 billion. $28 billion. Ouch. How much would it take to build the wall again? Oh, that's right, $5 billion. Yeah. So they're waiting on $8.5 billion in grants and $11 billion in low-cost loans. This is an amazing fail if, in fact, this thing never gets built. But it will eventually get built because somebody will be persuaded, wink, wink, to take it on. I don't know if it's Qualcomm. Apple supposedly turned it down. Samsung has supposedly turned it down. And why have they turned it down? Because all these companies, while they need chips, you say, well, don't they all need chips? Yes. AI technology, Bruce, aren't they going to need like high-end chips for AI technology? Yeah, they are. But you tell me, if you're right now on the cusp, if you're in a business where AI, I hate to sound like Kamala Harris, artificial intelligence, AI stands for Kamala said, AI stands for artificial intelligence. Yes, it does. Too bad you didn't have any of it. But if you are in an industry where artificial intelligence is on the horizon and is the next big thing, do you want to invest in building the chips before you have AI figured out and know what kind of chips you're going to need? That would seem to be putting the cart before the horse, right? So a lot of these companies have told Intel, we wouldn't be able to buy this right now because we're putting our money into AI research, AI technology, trying to figure out that piece of the puzzle so that we know what kind of chips we need to build to make the puzzle piece the right size, the right way, with the right specs. So Intel is struggling big time. Every single metric that you look at, its stock price, the fact it's been moved off the S&P 500, the fact that it's whining, give us money, give us money, give us. People who are solvent, are they crying for money? Intel, are they solvent? They're cutting jobs. Their stock price is in the dumper. Why are they begging for money if they don't need it? Which means they're struggling.
Financial Group is not an offer. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-885-3333, 800-885-3333.
You can find us at 989theanswer.com. Download our apps. Stream us 24/7. WTOH and WTOH HD1, Upper Arlington, Columbus.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. President Biden and President-elect Trump met face-to-face in a historic White House meeting today. White House correspondent Greg Clugston with that report.
After exchanging harsh words during the campaign, the two leaders sat side by side in the Oval Office. President Biden said he looked forward to a smooth transition and welcomed Donald Trump back to the White House. The president-elect acknowledged that politics is tough, but was grateful for the warm welcome.
It is a nice world today, and I appreciate very much a transition that's so smooth. It'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate it. You all.
Then the two men shook hands and began their private meeting. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Also at townhall.com, Pete Hegseth is Mr. Trump's selection for Secretary of Defense. Hegseth is a co-host of Fox News Channel's Fox and Friends Weekend and has been a contributor with the network since 2014. Military affairs analyst, retired Lieutenant Colonel Robert McInnes, tells the Salem Radio Network Hegseth will have to overcome a learning curve when it comes to the Pentagon.
He's never been assigned to this building, which has 20,000 people and has one bureaucracy upon another. It's an incredibly complex arena. So he's going to require really some sage advice from people that have great experience here.
If confirmed, Hexet would inherit the top job during a series of global crises ranging from Russia's war in Ukraine, the ongoing attacks on Israel by Iranian proxies, and escalating worries about a growing alliance between Russia and North Korea. Inflation in the U.S. ticked up in October. Consumer prices rose 2.6% from a year earlier. On Wall Street, the Dow is adding 168 points, and the NASDAQ down 2 points. More at townhall.com.
Sun and clouds, breezy afternoon. High today 58. Clouds and showers tonight. A steady rain late, low 44. Rain and cooler for tomorrow. High tomorrow 51. A bit of rain tomorrow evening, otherwise cloudy, low 47. And then Friday, clouds, a shower in spots, high 54. Periods of clouds and sun on Saturday, high 56. Mostly cloudy for Sunday, high Sunday 59. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
War has played a key role in the history of the United States, from the nation's founding right down to the present. Wars made the United States independent, kept it together, increased its size, and established it as a global superpower. Hi, I'm James Early, host of the Key Battles of American History podcast. In each episode, I discuss American history through the lens of the most important battles in America's wars. To start listening now, go to parthenonpodcast.com or search Key Battles of American History on your favorite podcasting platform.
Couple more blue bloods. Number 19, Kentucky, upsetting 6th-ranked Duke. Final there was 77-72. Baylor 104, Sam Houston State 67, and Mississippi defeated South Alabama 64-54. In the NBA, your winners include Orlando, Atlanta, Detroit, and New York. Another loss for Philadelphia in that game. Milwaukee defeated Toronto, also winning Phoenix, Portland, and Golden State. And in the NHL, winners Winnipeg, Ottawa, New Jersey, Boston, and Edmonton. This is SRN Sports. Well, the NBA Cup is back for a second season. It'll be running through December 17th, and you might be saying, well, what is the NBA Cup? Well, last year it was called the in-season tournament when it made its debut after years of Commissioner Adam Silver wanting to add something extra during the regular season. All 30 teams will be taking part and will play 4 group stage games. But from there, 8 teams move on to the quarterfinals, and from that point on, the winners of those games then will head to Las Vegas for the semifinals on the 14th of December. Word out of Dallas says Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott has decided to have season-ending surgery on a torn hamstring. He'll have the surgery on Wednesday. This is SRN Sports.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded. Do you just grin and bear it or bite the bullet when it comes to everyday pain? Don't. Try Relief Factor, a drug-free daily supplement that helps.
We'll be coming out of commercial here momentarily. Big audience. I wonder why. Lots of old-intentioned people. All right. We got the skinny on Monica Asher. We'll share it with you here momentarily. Appreciate all you guys watching.
On your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
I'm going to let you in on a little wireless hack that can cut your cell phone bill in half. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile have convinced you you need unlimited data. The fact is, most people don't. Pure Talk only charges $25 a month for unlimited talk, text, and 5 gigs of data plus hotspot. Stop overpaying for wireless. Dial pound 250 and say spend less, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month with Pure Talk.
Here we go. Coming out of commercial. Wow. I wonder why Our online audience today is more than 3 times as big as it typically is. Something tells me a lot of people in the Olentangy School District are tuning in to get a little clarity on a memo sent by Orange High School Principal Monica Asher to her staff. We will delve into that here at the top of the second hour of the Bruce Hooley Show. Thanks for spreading the word about this memo that I got notified of last night about 9 o'clock. And in it, Monica Asher, who is in her second year at Orange, says that she's just reaching out to the staff because so many students are afraid in the aftermath of the presidential election, and that she, Monica Asher, is struggling with how to go on and how to lead. She doesn't give any evidence that any students are traumatized by this. I noted in my email to the communications specialists over the entire Olentangy district that Delaware County voted for Donald Trump by a 53% to 46% margin. I presume in the school realm, they would understand that that's a 7-point margin for Trump. And I get it. Education is more likely, probably, to vote for a Democrat than a Republican. But still, isn't it reasonable to assume that maybe even if Trump's support was only half in the Olentangy district, among school personnel, I mean, if it was only half, at least a quarter of the people voted for Donald Trump, and a quarter of the parents of students voted for Donald Trump, and maybe a quarter of students who are 18 and can vote voted for Donald Trump. And might it'd be a problem for the Olentangy School District if their principal is putting it in her own writing in a memo that she's struggling to lead with Donald Trump as president, because I think he's going to get inaugurated on January the 20th. And if she's this triggered before he ever takes the oath of office, how is her mindset going to improve going forward? And how is she going to lead in year 3? So what I wanted to do was be fair. I tried to be fair. I emailed and said, what does a presidential election have to do with leading a school district? What is the tie? What is the relationship? Because I don't see one. Like, I understand Donald Trump's going to dissolve the Department of Education. I watch his social media posts. He didn't say anything, unless he just posted it since 11, since I've been on the air. He didn't say anything about dissolving Olentangy Orange High School. He's going to dissolve the Department of Education. Going to give it back to the states. I don't think there's anybody down at the State House that's going to target Monica Asher or the Olentangy Orange High School. I think you're safe, Monica. So I just wanted to know from the communications specialist at Olentangy, like, what does this have to do with her job? Now, speaking of her job, as I said, she's in her second year. The board at Olentangy High School, or Olentangy Schools, hired her by a 5-0 vote in May of 2022. So she had her first year last year, and she's in the middle of, well, not even the middle of, her second year. And she said at the time when she was hired, right here from the pages of the Columbus Dispatch, I'm excited and proud to be a member of the Pioneer family. She didn't say anything about the Democratic portion of the Pioneer family. I was drawn to Orange High School not only because of its academic reputation, but also its strong sense of community. She didn't say like its strong Democratic leanings. I have been nothing short of impressed, in my experiences throughout the interview process further confirmed that Olentangy is an incredibly special place. Olentangy is an incredibly special place, not the people who believe like I do and vote like I do. So she didn't give us any indication there, which would have been the time to register in a job interview. Like, I've gone through many job interviews in my life, and if I have something I think the people who are going to hire me need to know, like, hey, you're hiring me in June, I go to Phoenix in December with my family, I'm going to have to be able to get that off. You'd think that would come up in the interview, but it didn't come up in the interview, maybe because Monica Asher was hired at a base salary of $130,000 plus benefits for a total compensation value of $175,317. Now, she had credentials. She was named the 2022-2023 Principal of the Year by the Ohio Association of Secondary School Administrators. And she is on the Ohio Department of Education's Educator Standards Board. So somebody with a big brain like that would certainly have a social media account, maybe a Twitter account, where I could go and find out her big brain perspective on education. But alas, when I go to Twitter looking for Monica Asher's Twitter, it has been deleted. Can anybody venture a guess as to why Monica Asher's Twitter has been deleted? Now, Twitter doesn't tell us when it was deleted, but would I be wrong to assume that it might have been deleted either late last night or this morning when her memo started to make the rounds on social media, which has sparked, yep, more than 3.5 times my normal audience on social media and a host of social media comments. Let me share a few with you, shall I? She needs to be removed. The bubble these people live in is pathetic. So a school leader puts her political thoughts in the school newsletter. Looks like the entire Olentangy School District has some serious questions to answer. Yes, they do. And you know, that's the disappointing thing, my friend who posted that. Because right there, as I noted in hour one on the Olentangy Schools website, on the communications page where Krista Davis and Christian Ross are the communications officers, they say right there on the page, we encourage parents and the public to engage with us and welcome your comments, suggestions, and ideas for providing information to our students, staff, and community. I don't think they mean that. Because I have reached out to Krista Davis and Christian Ross before on matters where they take a decidedly, someone in their district takes a decidedly political stance, and I just email them, hey, call them, won't come to the phone when I call, won't return a call when I leave a message, won't return an email today, just checked moments ago. So I'm left with no recourse other than to put this online and to let people react to it. Billy says she basically implied that the only people in the building with conservative views are some faculty, not a single student. Believe it or not, many young people are conservatives as well. Yes, they are. Another says, yikes, Olentangy has fallen off a cliff. Yes. Nick says, this person, he didn't say person, but I'll say person. This person whose job depends on convincing the taxpayers to pay more in property taxes so she can have a job, opens her politically motivated yap only to tick off potential voters on said levies. She needs to be terminated immediately. Yeah, I don't think we have much of a chance of that because this is probably how she got the job at Olentangy. Another says, this is what happens when out-of-state activists pour millions of dollars into local school board campaigns. Yep. The NEA has clear rules about political behavior, but this child-hating indoctrinator clearly doesn't know how to read. No, she knows how to read. She obviously knows how to read. She knows how to write. She just doesn't know how to be all the things that they lecture you about for not being. Tolerant, diverse, open-minded, all those things. She doesn't know how to do that. Jake says, there is a 100% chance that this memo was written after multiple bottles of wine. Well, she had a week to think about it, and still she sent it out. Now, I don't know exactly when she sent it out. I became aware of it last night. So we'll see whether we get a response. My guess is, given our online audience, the next meeting of the Olentangy Board of Education is going to be very, very, very interesting. Board President Brandon Lester, Board VP Kevin Dabercow, and the other members, Kevin O'Brien, Lizette Schreiber, and Dr. Libby Wallach. You can all expect a robust parental audience, or you can just do what you've done before, which is eliminate parental comments at your meeting and lock people out and not let them get inside. That's happened before and probably will happen again because you're going to have an angry group of people wanting to know why this high school principal is allowed to send out this memo. Now, I read the memo for you, the first paragraph of it, in hour number 1. But here's the first part again. I struggled this week to find the right words. I can't write a message that pretends like the election didn't happen, especially when so many of you are struggling with how to move forward. I know you're struggling with how to move forward with your students who are afraid, but also how to move forward with colleagues that don't share your views. I see pain, uncertainty, and division. I have to be honest. I am not entirely sure how to tell you how to move forward. What I can do is tell you that I am here and that my values changed. I grew up wanting to be someone who made a difference. Well, maybe you'll become a difference. Maybe you'll become an example to people who get fired for getting over their skis.
Sunny clouds, a breezy afternoon. High today 58. Clouds and showers tonight. A steady rain late, low 44. Rain and cooler for tomorrow. High tomorrow 51. A bit of rain tomorrow evening, otherwise cloudy, low 47. And then Friday, clouds, a shower in spots, high 54. Periods of clouds and sun on Saturday, high 56. Mostly cloudy for Sunday, high Sunday 59. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
ProView Remodeling, Ohio's #1 choice in sidings, windows, doors, decks, sidings, patios, porches, basements, and bathroom remodels. Call ProView Remodeling today and get 25% off or 60 months, 0 interest. That's right, 60 months, 0 interest.
The other live read that we have is My Pillow. We can do it now, or I think it's scheduled for 12:49. Can we do it now instead?
614-756-3140. Check us out at ProViewRemodeling.com.
When it comes to safety, don't settle for anything less than the best. At Elite Fire Services, we protect what matters most, your business and your peace of mind. Our expert team provides top-notch fire safety inspections, and we service fire extinguishers, fire sprinkler systems, backflow preventers, fire alarms, kitchen hood suppression systems, and exit lighting. Visit EliteFire.org today to get a free quote and ensure your fire safety is in elite hands. Because when it comes to protection, you deserve the best. Elite Fire Services, your safety is our mission.
Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary.
Limited time left. Are you ready to seize a unique investment opportunity that could save you in taxes for 2024 and help you secure your financial future? Goldman Sachs predicts oil to remain in the $70 to $100 range. So why not invest in the uptrend now? That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you are an SEC accredited investor with at least $100,000 in liquid assets, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's exclusive projects and a significant tax write-off for 2024. But hurry, there's limited time left this year to benefit from the incredible tax incentive. Imagine nearly 100% of your investment being deductible for 2024. Don't miss out on this limited time opportunity to create monthly income for up to 20 or more years to come. Call 800-278-7455 now and connect to a knowledgeable Encore Energy representative. Encore is a major investor and experienced operator in its core area of operations. Call Encore Energy now at 800-278-7455. That's 800-278-7455.
Hey everyone, Charlie Kirk here. You know that 80% of adults take supplements to feel our best, right? One thing your dog can't do without you is improve their diet or health to feel their best. That's why I believe Rough Greens could dramatically help your best friend by adding what's missing to their diet like you do. Rough Greens is helping thousands of dogs feel better and live longer, including my dog who loves it. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, who created Rough Greens, is also an airborne ranger and Green Beret, an amazing background. He loves dogs, and he's on a mission to help as many as he can. Listen carefully, dog food is dead food. Rough Greens supplements your dog's food with essential vitamins and minerals, omega oils, digestive enzymes, probiotics, and antioxidants. Dr. Black is offering a free Jumpstart trial bag to get back their energy, improve elimination, and get rid of itching, scratching, achy joints, and bad breath. Get your free Jumpstart trial bag. Just cover shipping. Don't change your dog's food. Just add Rough Greens today. That is ruffgreens.com/Kirk. And naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black. So check it out. And if you are a cat owner, check out Meow Greens. That's all you can find at ruffgreens.com/Kirk.
New connected technology, and the Consumer Technology Association wants to help you protect the security of your devices. First, don't use default or easy-guess passwords. Create unique ones and keep them safe. Next, look for and install security updates from device manufacturers. Also, have an active firewall for your home router, and consider using a professional installer to set up your new devices. Easy tips from the Consumer Technology Association to help keep your devices secure.
My Pillow products, phenomenal products if you need a good night's sleep. One of the things that keeps you from sleeping is lack of comfort, right? Well, that's where My Pillow comes in. The revolutionary MyPillow, revolutionary when it debuted. Who thought of washing a pillow? Who thought of a pillow that you didn't have to flip it over in the middle of the night? Find the cool side. A pillow that never loses its shape. So from that has emerged an array of other products. But the MyPillow itself is still the foundation on which the brand was built, and is the foundation of the tremendous sale going on right now at mypillow.com. If you use my promo code Bruce, you can get a standard MyPillow for less than $15. If you'd like a queen or a king, your investment is going to be less than $20. Just make sure you use my promo code Bruce at mypillow.com. But hey, don't stop there. Free shipping on orders of $75 or more. So check out the mattresses, the mattress toppers, the towel sets, the slippers, the slides, and other items. mypillow.com, promo code Bruce. How do we morph from the Olentangy principal, Monica Asher, triggered by Donald Trump's election, such that she writes a memo to the staff saying that she is not entirely sure how to tell you how to move forward? How do we transfer from that to today's Today in Crazy segment? Because that's like a whole smorgasbord of crazy from Monica Asher. More of the social media responses. James says, "What an idiot." Holly, did she shave her head, get a blue bracelet, safety pin, and mask? Yes. What is behind? What is the political statement that women are making online who are shaving their heads and filming it and putting it online? As I said yesterday, congratulations. You're bald. Donald Trump is still president. And Rachel says, Monica says she was struggling to find the right words. It appears that she didn't find them. Yes, it does appear that she did not find them. And someone else says, I think I see a wine stain and tears on that letter. So I heard from students on social media. I had her. She's a woke disaster. Yes, she is. So we don't want to cheat Monica Asher out of her rightful place as Today in Crazy headline number one. But we move on. Today in Crazy headline number two. It appears that Comcast, the company that owns MSNBC, is not exactly thrilled with the ratings that they have been getting, and they are contemplating the ratings going down now that Donald Trump is returning to the White House for a second term. How did MSNBC do on election night? Well, I got 6 million viewers on election night, more than CNN, which got 5.1 million. Fox got 10 million. That's not good if you own MSNBC. So Comcast is considering splitting it off and selling it. Can anybody think of a billionaire who owns a rocket company and an electric vehicle company who might want to buy that network? I think Musk would buy it just to have the pleasure of firing Nicole Wallace and Joy Reid and Stephanie Ruhle and Jen Psaki and others. Would that be worth it? I mean, Musk's got more money than he'll ever lose. And then he could make it into he could merge it with the Daily Wire, and they could have an around the clock. That would crush. That would absolutely crush. Now, CNN, 5.1 million viewers. When you do worse than MSNBC, here's the problem with CNN. They're trying to be down the middle, and everybody knows they're not down the middle, right? They got rid of, who was the hack that was dating the woman on the staff? What's his name? I can't remember his name. And then they hired Chris Chaliza, and then they were going to do like CNN behind the scenes, and that folded in 30 days. And now they're bleeding money. Jake Tapper and Wolf Blitzer have been denied raises, which don't cry for them. Anderson Cooper makes $20 million a year at CNN. How do you monetize Anderson Cooper making $20 million a year? Erin Burnett makes $6 million a year. At least she has on a guy who does reasonable investigative reporting. And Caitlin Collins, who's just so hard to watch. Do you have teeth, Caitlin Collins? Could you smile once in a while? Just smile. $3 million she makes. So CNN bleeding money, and doesn't look good for them either. Now, Today in crazy headline number 3. Which demographic in the voting public do you think supported Donald Trump in the most robust fashion? Nope, not black men, not Hispanic men, not white women, all of whom have been blamed. 65% of American Indians voted for Donald Trump. Indigenous people, as the Democrats call them, 65%, 57% of whites voted for Trump. Now, today in crazy headline number 4, this one bothers me. I thought we were getting rid of the disastrous federal judge, U.S. District Court Judge Algernon Marbley back in October. He sent a memo to Joe Biden that he was retiring, but Biden didn't name a replacement. And now that Donald Trump has been elected, Algernon Marbley wants to continue to serve. The good news is that he cannot be the chief judge of the U.S. District Court for the Southern District because he's over 70 years of age. But he's going to do everything he can. He's the reason why Columbus police have been investigated by the FBI. Algernon Marbley is a guy who, allows his political beliefs to infect his opinions from the bench. He's a disaster, and I hate to see him coming back now that Donald Trump is coming back to the White House. Speaking of the White House today, Donald Trump was at the White House, which means, of course, Joe Biden was at the White House, which means, of course, Dr. Jill was at the White House, taking a final bow, talking about something that she has not been able to get done, but she's not giving up on.
For everyone across the country, but a few senators, I'm not going to name them, blocked our way. But that wasn't the end. This movement continues to gain momentum. We must keep fighting for free community college.
Yeah. Everybody wants free community college. Actually, your ace, Dr. Jill, has literally been trumped. Here's Donald Trump yesterday talking about what he wants to get done.
In recent weeks, Americans have been horrified to see students and faculty at Harvard and other once respected universities expressing support for the savages and jihadists who attacked Israel. We spend more money on higher education than any other country, and yet they're turning our students into communists and terrorists and sympathizers of many, many different dimensions. We can't let this happen. It's time to offer something dramatically different. Under the plan I'm announcing today, we will take the billions and billions of dollars that we will collect by taxing, fining, and suing excessively large private university endowments, and we will then use that money to endow a new institution called the American Academy. Its mission will be to make a truly world-class education available to every American, free of charge, and do it without adding a single dime to the federal debt. This institution will gather an entire universe of the highest quality educational content covering the full spectrum of human knowledge and skills, and make that material available to every American citizen online for free.
That is, Dr. Jill, what you call having your community college freebie trumped, literally and figuratively.
This is an SRNU special report. I'm John Scott. There's a new leader in the Senate replacing Mitch McConnell. Senate Republicans have elected South Dakota Senator John Thune as the next Senate Majority Leader by a vote of 29 to 24. Lawmakers rejected public overtures from allies of President-elect Trump, who are pushing for a different candidate. Thune beat out opposing candidates Senator John Cornyn of Texas and Rick Scott of Florida. The 63-year-old Thune will succeed Senate Minority Leader McConnell, who led his chamber's Republican since 2007. The 63-year-old Thune, in his fourth Senate term, has promised to work closely with Mr. Trump, despite differences the two have.
Man, I'm never surprised by how clever people are on Twitter in their comments back to me. This Olentangy principle story is crazy. I better go through the rest of the memo to see what other nonsense is in it.
which is why we must prepare now for a financial collapse that will affect the entire economy. The good news is there's an easy way to do that. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe everyone should consider a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group to diversify their IRA or 401k. Gold is a proven bedrock in almost every kind of economy. To learn more, get a free info kit from my trusted friend.
It's absolute stupidity.
To 989898.
Stupidity.
Until decades of government irresponsibility.
I'll read it. I'll read more of it when we come back. The level of navel gazing is incredible.
Text prepare to the number 989898. That's prepare to 989.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer, anywhere you go. With The Answer's mobile app at 98.9theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, tune in or iPhone.
Hey, I'm Jack Williams, I'm the creator of The Chosen, and I am excited to share that the movie I've been trying to make for 15 years, the best Christmas pageant ever, is finally here.
Nothing is more important than our annual Christmas pageant. Pageant is so great. But this year,
the Hermans are absolutely the worst kids in the history of the world. It might be the first Christmas pageant in history where Joseph and the wise men get in a fight.
Now that's a pageant I'd actually like to see. Based on the classic book, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, now playing Angel.
Rated PG, for guidance suggested. The instability of our economy after development has no memory. Stocks and bonds will be the first to collapse. Gold has been a safe haven asset for generations. At Premier Gold, we specialize in helping those with a 401k or other types of retirement accounts and change their longer paper assets into physical gold. Today, we just send you a free gold election kit to help you decide if this is right for you. 606.
Yeah. I'm so glad there are hundreds and thousands of patriots in the Olentangy district. You see, I assume you're calling the school and registering your objection to this utter nonsense to put up with this. If I were a parent in your district, if I was on this school board, you better believe I wouldn't put up with it. But you know why? This would not be allowed in the district that I serve, because we have a policy against advantaging one side over another, because the politics are irrelevant when you come to educating students, or should be. So you shouldn't put up with this, and you should overrun that next school board meeting. PatriotSwitch.com products are fantastic for you, fantastic for your family, and I have been a purchaser, a shopper, a member of the PatriotSwitch.com network of Patriots for about 3 years. Came in handy when I obviously got my diagnosis, because the more toxins I can exorcise from my life, the better. So if you're worried about benzenes, nitrates, mysterious chemicals in products that you put in your body, mouthwash, toothpaste, or inadvertently in your body via laundry detergent, countertop cleaner, and the like, makeup on your face if you're a woman, well, then you should check out the PatriotSwitch.com/Bruce website. PatriotSwitch.com/Bruce Hooley, and you will, of course, be contacted by me, and I'll explain to you how you become a member, how you get a 35 to 50% discount, how you take a chunk out of woke capitalism and find American-made family products, all of them at a deep discount. PatriotSwitch.com/Bruce. So the online audience continues to climb. I got to believe we have a lot of people maybe listening to the Bruce Hooley Show for the first time today in the wake of Monica Asher, Olentangy Orange High School principal's memo to her staff. So thanks, Monica. Appreciate it. Appreciate the publicity that you made possible with your State of the Pioneer memo to the Olentangy Orange High School staff. This is a newsletter. It's printed on the official stationery, I presume, of the school, dated November 11th through November the 15th, 2024. And the headline is Words from Monica Asher. Monica Asher was hired as the as the principal at Olentangy Orange High School in May of 2022. So she was the principal last year for the first year, and then now the principal in her second year. Don't know if she's going to make it to a third year, because the consensus online seems to be that she got way out of line with this memo, which I've read the first paragraph to you, where she confesses that she's very, very triggered by the election of Donald Trump. She says that her staff, so many of you are struggling with how to move forward. I know you're struggling with how to move forward with your students who are afraid. She gives no evidence that the students are afraid. Continuing the memo, but also how to move forward with colleagues that don't share your views. Is this what a leader should do? Should a leader encourage people who might be a little grudgy toward those who they know voted for Donald Trump? Should she be encouraging that or tamping that down? She's encouraging it here. She said, this week I saw your pain, uncertainty, and division. You know, if I'm a leader and I see division in my ranks, I'm doing everything I can to quell it. Not doing everything I can to stoke it. Monica has a different idea, but she's got a lot of awards as an educator, so maybe she knows how to lead people better than I do. She says, I have to be honest. This is what should hang her, okay? This is what should get her bumped from her $175,000 a year or more job. These words, she wrote them. She should be accountable for them. I have to be honest. I am not entirely sure how to tell you to move forward. She's a leader who can't lead. She just said it. She just wrote it. Continuing. What I can tell you is that I am here with you and my values have not changed. I recognize that leadership is tested during tough times. Yeah, it is. You're failing. Anyone can lead when it is easy. What makes it easy? Biden being in the White House? Why is it any harder for you to do your job at Olentangy, lead your teachers, evaluate curriculum, stay within budget? Why does the resident of the White House complicate any of that? You know why? Because it doesn't. Because it doesn't. It doesn't at all. It has no impact on your job, Monica Asher. Zero. But you seem to think it does. Now, I haven't read you from the rest of the memo. It is really something. Here we go. Paragraph 2. Know that Orange will continue to be a place where students, all students, find safety. Hey, I got an idea. Orange students whose parents are listening to this now, or you, if you're listening on the 9890 Answer app at lunchtime. How about you wear a MAGA hat to school tomorrow? How about you wear a MAGA hat? She says she wants Orange to be a place where all students find safety. Let's see if you find safety wearing your MAGA hat. It will continue, she says of Orange, to be a place that not only values diversity, but celebrates it. Monica, I don't think you're celebrating diversity here in the voting electorate. I think you're doing. She writes, Orange will continue to be a place where showing compassion and respect to those around us is a priority. No! Who can vote, it is utterly impossible when Delaware County voted for Donald Trump 53-46 for her to be surrounded exclusively by Kamala Harris voters. Paragraph 3 of her memo. Monica Asher, the principal at Orange, writes, there is a lot that I don't know, you think? But here is what I do know. I know we have a building full of people who love kids and who want to make a difference. That said, I ask you to join me and move like buffalo through a storm. Rather than running away from the storm, buffalo typically face it head on. They take stock of the direction the storm is moving, gathering together with their herd and move directly into it. They stick together for protection, with the stronger individuals leading and guiding the group, ensuring that the younger and weaker members are kept safe. Moving toward the storm seems a little strange, but they do this because they know that the first place where there will be light is directly on the other side of the storm clouds. Okay, so what is she insinuating with that paragraph? She is insinuating that people who voted for Donald Trump are weak. That is what she is insinuating. Or that people who are bothered by Kamala Harris not winning the election are weak. This is like, this is, I mean, the blindness, the utter buy-in to Democratic garbage, lies, that Trump is some threat to Monica Asher and her colleagues who voted for Harris's personal safety, that Donald Trump is a threat to students. Hey, words are not violence, okay? I don't want any kid to be bullied. I don't want any kid to be insulted. I don't want any kid to be disparaged. And if anybody's doing that at Orange or any other high school, punish them. Inflict consequences that are painful enough to them that they cease that kind of behavior. But Monica Asher doesn't seem to be the kind of person who would do that, to use a term she probably worships at the altar of, equitably. But anybody who votes for Trump, anybody who doesn't share her political opinions, she thinks is weak and needs to be sheltered by her and the other do-gooders around her. Final paragraph of her memo. The Buffalo's resilience, unity, and strength is drawn from working as a collective. By working together, we can also face any challenge. We can support one another and create an environment where both we and our students thrive. We can move toward the light, and we can create the light. Only God creates light. We don't need to wait for it to come to us. I continue to be proud to be your principal. I'd hold on to that because you might not be very long. And proud to be a part of your herd. Yeah, you're part of a herd, all right. You're part of a misguided herd, stampeding off the edge of a cliff because you have magnified an election, which we hold elections pretty much every year. Not a presidential election, but an election. We hold it every year. It's a demonstration of our republic. And you lost this one. The party you favor lost this one. And that means we're going to get a change of direction. But Monica, everything's going to be fine. And you issuing this memo a week after the election shows that you have been obsessing about the results of this election for a week. And it shows that you are ill-equipped to lead your district. You confess to it in the first paragraph of your memo. And you should be held accountable for that. You have indicted yourself as unfit to lead this district, because I will say again, the results of the presidential election have nothing to do with any of the duties you are to discharge and are well compensated to discharge at Olentangy Orange High School. It has nothing to do with how you relate to teachers. It has nothing to do with how you manage curriculum. It has nothing to do with how you stay on. It has nothing to do with any conversation you have with a student. It has nothing to do with your nothing. Yet you filled up an entire sheet of paper with utter politically charged nonsense where you disparage people on your staff who voted differently from you, and where you make assumptions and reinforce assumptions among your student body that they are not safe. All of this proves that you are unfit to go forward in the job you hold.
A breezy afternoon, the high today 58, clouds and showers tonight, a steady rain late, low 44.